Hello everyone and welcome back to Madden 2001 in the Cincinnati Bengals franchise. We are coming back after our 16-31 loss to the Jaguars in Week 10. We have simulated the next 2 weeks of our season. We did beat the Chargers in San Diego, and then we followed it up with another pretty convincing road loss to the Jags in Jacksonville. So we've single-handedly helped the Jags kind of get to the top of the AFC Central, and now that takes us into a pretty intense game against the Titans in Nashville, who are 5-6. I think I actually needed to finish simming the previous week, so I think they would actually be 6-6 going into this game. So pretty important game as far as playoff implications go. We are still a little bit of a ways where we need to start really considering that. I think in maybe the next video or so we'll start looking at the standings and whatnot, but at 5-6 we still have a lot of work to do. If we won either one of those Jaguars games, it'd probably be a different situation, but that's not how things go for us. So we're still hovering around 500, so I guess our chances are still pretty decent at this stage in the season, but if we continue that pace into like week 14, then we might need to start having some serious conversations. but things are still okay right now, and this is a massive game, a very important game that we need to win. So we are already driving pretty well in Titan territory after killing a couple minutes off the clock. Achilles Smith dropping back, clean pocket, lets it go to Sharper, the tight end, who hauls it in and is brought down at about the 20-yard line. So we are moving the ball decently well, can't be too upset. So, 1st and 10, Achilles Smith going to uncork this one to Peter Warrick, and that one cannot find his hand. So, 2nd and 10 now for this Bengal offense. Achilles Smith going to go with the delayed handoff to Corey Dillon, and Corey Dillon shimmying and jiving all the way towards the goal line at least. Just about gets there, inside the 5 at least. Jeff Fisher not super happy about that, but hey man, I am happy about that. Corey Dillon making moves on the field to just about get us in the end zone, so we're going to give it back to him to finish the job, and he gets stood up at the line. Gets absolutely sat on his bottom. He can't get in, so 2nd and goal. We may try this one again, or we may try to get crafty here. With just only 1 yard to work with here, we're going to have to get pretty creative. And on that play, we do not get creative, as the Titans are very much considering the run here. So on 3rd and goal, Titans send the entire kitchen sink, and that leaves Sharper all alone in the end zone for a nice, quick, short touchdown reception. Achilles Smith just barely gets rid of the football, man. He took about a half second too long. If this was me playing the game, I would have had that ball out of my hands at the second I hit X to snap the ball. So the first quarter comes to an end, and our 1 touchdown is the only deciding factor. So the Titans, however, are still moving the ball in their own time. They still have a lot of their core pieces as well, like Dyson, like Steve McNair, and of course Eddie George is still here playing football, man. So gotta love that. On 2nd and 7, Steve McNair goes through the air and somehow finds an open receiver. He's not open because he was double covered, but he still does catch the ball here. And since we are pretty late on in the first half, Titans are going to run with tempo here and try and get the ball into the end zone, or at least get it through the uprights here to get any kind of points before the half is over. But they have plenty of time to operate here, as we're now just getting underneath a minute and a half left to go, and they are inside the 15-yard line. So they might want to slow things down here and think about their approach, but I guess they don't have to, and it's only going to take them a few plays just to dink and dunk down the field. And Steve McNair has hit the same receiver for the last 3 plays, and I guess we cannot seem to get him covered. Pressure does come off the edge to McNair, but he does get rid of the football again to the same guy. I mean, just put 3 guys on him at this point. I mean, seriously, how hard is it to contain him? So with just a minute left to go on 2nd and goal, they're going to go with the handoff, I guess to either the backup running back or the fullback. I'm going to guess he was the fullback, but he does get into the end zone for the first touchdown for the Titans. And yeah, I mean, this wasn't much of a trick play here, but enough to throw off our defense, our goal line defense, which, isn't famously all that great, but, don't expect them to give up points. So, but either way, so we have a tie ball game now, and we are trying to do something on offense to get some more points for ourselves here before the half is up. We still have plenty of time. The Titans left a good bit of time on the clock, so we have plenty of time to operate here. And so Achilles Smith is going to keep the boys running in tempo here, as we are now in Titan territory with just about 30 seconds left to operate. Not going to spike the ball. Achilles Smith is going to go through the air, and he throws it in a mess of players, but somehow Sharper is the one who comes down with it. And this seems to be tight end on tight end warfare. I mean, because both teams are just relying heavily on their tight ends. No one really else. So under 20 seconds, Achilles Smith under a ton of pressure, a man in his face. Fortunately, he went to block the pass and not just tackle Achilles Smith, because he probably would have clobbered him. So on 3rd and inches, the offense is still on the field with just 16 seconds left to go. So interesting, aggressive play calling from the coaching staff here. And Achilles Smith through the air finds Peter Warrick, and he gets caught up by the shoestrings before he can just get into the end zone. But there is a penalty on the field, and that will get us even further, as it is a defensive pass interference, man. Think how many times, you can probably count on one hand how many times you've had a defensive pass interference called in these old Madden games, man. But we get a 1st and goal opportunity. We're going to take one shot to the end zone. Achilles Smith under pressure. Can't really wait for that play to really get developed. Nothing was really happening there, so that one gets to Peter Warrick. But he's out of bounds, so we are going to end up eventually settling for 3 points. I mean, I love the aggressiveness that our offense was showing here in the last 30 seconds of the half, and that penalty really kind of breathed some new life into our offense, but we were unable to finish things off. So 10-7 is going to be your final score after just one half of play here. But coming out into the second half, in the last minute or so of the 3rd quarter, we're finally getting some action on either offense, as we are moving the ball closer and closer into Titan territory. But we cannot convert the 1st down. So we're going to bring out John Green to kick a very long field goal, and it's doinked off the crossbar and in. So there you go. There's the record there, I guess. I don't think that's his record. I want to say John Green's made like a 52-yarder before, but for some reason he must not have gotten all of that football, but that one did doink in, so we will take a doink, and that will extend our lead to 13-7, but there's still plenty of time here. Our lead is not sacred. All the Titans got to do is get into the end zone, and they look poised to do that, as they are now in our territory, and Steve McNair finds an open man to pick up another 1st down to breathe some life into this Titans drive. And man, just all day to throw. I mean, that's the consistent theme. We're not getting a ton of pressure. I've invested so many resources in the D-line, and just the sim will not give me pressure on the quarterback. I don't know, but there's a little bit. There's a couple guys that got in, but Steve McNair still finds an open receiver, and it's the same one he's been hitting all I guess. Him is just not something we're going to do. So 1st and 10 here, McNair goes with a fake handoff and just rips one. Is that Thigpen again? I think that was Thigpen again. Jeez Louise. And there's Chris Waller, man. So if you've been wondering where he is, I think he showed up a little bit earlier. If you're wondering, he's still very much here. He just, not getting the ball to him, I guess. But we are getting the ball to Peter Warrick a little bit, as Achilles Smith takes an absolute shot, but manages to get rid of the football in time to get it to Peter Warrick, who picks up the 1st down here. And now with 2 minutes left to operate, we have a lot of control on the game here. If we can just get into the end zone and regain our lead here, as we're down by a point to the Titans now. And Corey Dillon picks up a nice gain on the ground, gets a 1st down for us, so we are moving the ball pretty well here. We don't want to score and leave too much time on the clock here, but we got to guarantee that we can at least get into the end zone. So, kind of a tough game, tough balancing act here to do. Achilles Smith gets rid of this one, and I guess it was to Beasley. Kind of looked like Peter Warrick, but Beasley couldn't quite haul it in, as that one hits him in the hands. We get this one off to Joel Makovic, who's hurdling over defenders, redirecting here and shimmying away from guys, and he gets brought down at about the 5-yard line. It's a great run from your fullback. You gotta love that kind of production from the fullback, but that's going to be 1st and goal. Now we're going to run the hurry up here, as we still have plenty of time, so we probably should settle down here as we try to go to the end zone off that first play to Kinney, I believe the backup tight end, and he cannot haul that one in. That was kind of a dangerous pass to try to throw. So on 3rd and goal now, we're going to cut to, with a minute and change left to go, we're going to give it to Makovic, and he had an opening there and gets brought down. It looks like he might have been on the goal line, but I guess they're going to say the ball did not break the plane. So we're going to call timeout, or the Titans might. But we're going to bring out John Green regardless and knock this one through to retake the lead 16-14. So a field goal is going to do it with almost a minute left to work here. You got to assume the Titans are probably going to figure something out here. And if they're making plays like that, it's going to be over before it even really starts. So defense has to tighten up here pretty darn quickly. Surprisingly, that wasn't a Thigpen. That man just can't seem to be guarded by anyone in our secondary. So the Titans are going to try and keep us on our toes and keep running the hurry up and catch us lacking here. They don't really have to do that, but Steve McNair is going to go for the spike. I thought he might try to run a play, because that's been kind of the theme this game, is running the hurry up just to keep running plays, even though, you got time, or maybe you should take the time to think something over, but the Titans do go for the spike. So a very crucial and important game that we had to win. We are now kind of staring down the barrel of a potentially disastrous situation for your Bengals here. So Stephen here drops back and finds Eddie George out of the backfield across the middle of the field, and he is brought down and gets the first down. And so the Titans are going to stick to the hurry up again. The time is ticking away. Stephen here probably going to spike this one, you got to imagine, and they are going to spike it and probably bring out the kicking unit. But no, they're gonna line up on 2nd and 10 with 20 seconds left to go. I guess they just wanted to clock it here and probably try and get another 5 and 10 yards, and they do just that. And now this field goal, which looked to be maybe just about at the range of their kickers, now just a chip shot. So as another catch down to Dyson. Nothing but Bengals over there, but still, he gets it. But the Titans, out of timeouts, are still going to have to try and get to the line of scrimmage and spike this one so they can even get their kicker a shot, and they managed to do it and leave 4 seconds on the clock. So that's just about going to cook the goose for your Bengals as the kick is up, and it is good. And we are going to hold that L as the clock reaches triple zeros. Another close down-to-the-wire game with a division opponent ends in favor of the division opponent as we drop to 5 and 6 on the year, and this game just about put a pretty big sword through our playoff chances, man. It doesn't essentially end anything for us, but I think our chances just went from like in the teens percentage-wise down to the single digits, man. Like I can't imagine we're gonna come out very much on top after this. So we're just gonna get right into the last game here as we get into this potential last season here. Unless we can get into the postseason and do something, we're gonna focus on each individual game here because that's what we need to do. Because each game is going to be kind of important. We're on a pretty massive road streak right now, and I think it ends right now with this San Francisco 49ers game. So it's not often that you see that we get an out-of-conference matchup with your Bengals, but we're going to focus on this one because we have a lot of playoff implications in these last few weeks. We pretty much have to win out. Appears to be the situation. We're going to have to win out. But the best record that we can achieve now is 9 and 7. So the chances of making it in this version of the NFL with these playoff rules at 9 and 7 are pretty gosh darn slim. So even if we do manage to do it, man, there's no guarantee. But we need to fight. We got to fight. And I mean, it really started today, but we're going to have to continue our San Francisco next week of the season. So I hope to see you guys there when we take on the 49ers.